Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back from the brand new video. Today's video we are here to sit down and discuss some European football. That's right, the European Nights is back at Ibrox tomorrow. But before we go any further on with today's video, as always, a quick little shout out to the channel sponsors and the channel legends themselves, OneFootball, whose link will be down there in the description below. But with the old intro complete, it's time to get to business then, shall we? And as always, we're going to be starting off with the oppositional preview, which is of course Braga. And if you've had a wee glance at Braga or a cheeky little Google to find out how Braga are getting on this season, you would have found that they are sitting in third in the Portuguese league, a whopping 16 points behind Porto, who we not only matched at their stadium, but we put them to sword at our stadium with a very, very impressive 2-0 win. So you might think to yourself, right, we've already the better team that's 16 points clear of them in the league, so this may be an easy tie. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as much as I would love, and I mean love, to be able to sit here and tell you guys that yes, this is going to be an easier test. We have played the best team in Portugal this year and we've bet them and we drew them at their stadium, so this should be an easier test. As much as I would love to say that, I honestly can't, because this Braga's team and everything you may have heard about struggling in the season, being 16 points behind, blah blah blah, that's because they found themselves in the 8th spot in the league on the 23rd of December 2019. On that day, they sacked their manager, brought a new guy in, and since then, everything has changed. I mean, we've all heard that term of a new manager bounce. When a manager comes in, all the players perform over the first couple of games because they're all eager to show the new manager that they deserve to be a part of his plans, but it always sort of plateaus and goes back to sort of what it was before. But ladies and gentlemen, this team hasn't plateaued at all. In fact, since the new manager has come in, they're actually unbeaten, which technically makes it the third undefeated team we've played so far in European football. However, back regarding Braga, isn't he just been like grinding out results versus teams that ruined them or anything like that and picking up points there? No. They are beating the best. The best. Not only have they bet Porto, they bet Sporting Lisbon, and most recently they just bet Benfica, who are sitting top of the league. So this point gap and sitting in 8th spot, all this stuff that you may have heard about this Braga team needs to be pushed to one side, because this Braga team is completely different to the one that's been clickbaited. Now, what's absolutely mental about all of this regarding Braga's turnaround is the manager that has transformed this entire club hasn't got the qualifications to manage the football club. No, I'm not kidding, I'm not trying to do a joke. Nah. He has not got the qualifications, so he can't be in the dugout during the games. He's got to be up in the stands. But despite not being allowed in the dugout, his presence is still felt in the park. And the biggest change in Braga under the new manager from the previous one that was struggling and prodding along throughout the season is the aggressive nature that this Braga team now plays with, because they were always nice on the eye, pinging passes about, but they were weak defensively and they're especially weak in midfield. Well, that has been completely flipped on its head, because this team dives into absolutely every 50-50 and they're jumping for headers as if they lose it, they're going to get dropped. That is the intensity that they're playing it right now. Where Porto flopped like a fish and dived away the shot whenever anyone went shoulder to shoulder or whenever we looked as if we made contact. This is going to be the exact opposite test tomorrow, especially when you look at their two centre halves and their two centre midfielders as well. They are the guys that like to just go in there and set the tone. Let's put it that way. When the first challenge comes in there, they'll certainly make sure it is felt, and that's coming directly from the manager. That is what he wants in his team. And again, we've already talked about the benefits and the change around in the entire Braga season because of this mindset. In saying that, however, I feel obliged to say that not everyone buys into this mindset. It's not everyone's job on the park to be that aggressive spark. Their wingers especially do like to go down very, very easily and try and con the referee because of the physical battles elsewhere that's usually just building the atmosphere. They go down very, very easily to when they're cheap and usual free kicks. So I honestly think discipline is going to be massive in this game of football, because not only will you have challenges flying in, but you also have other people flying about pretending that there's actually challenges or making the most out of the contact. So the discipline for Rangers is going to need to be at 100% as Rocky makes an appearance. But speaking of discipline though, we mentioned how aggressive and how they relish that physical battle. Well, just in case me talking about it over and over again hasn't really let it sink in, I think if you needed a little bit of proof, I think you can just go ahead and look at the last 6 games and realise in 4 of those 6 games they've had a red card. 4 out of 6, lads. Aggressive Tick. But I think with that being said, that is the perfect place to end the Braga preview. They will certainly be bringing a battle to Ibrox, but now it's time to turn over and talk about what matters most, and that is, of course, Rangers. Now, before we actually jump into this week's official Rangers press conference, there is something that's around this tie that we haven't discussed at all on this channel. I don't think I've ever spoken about it with you guys in a video before, and it's going to be VAR, if that's how you spell it. But terrible joke aside, it is a massive thing in football right now, and this is going to be the first time we've ever had a game in VAR. So I just wanted to ask you, watching today's video, what is your thoughts on VAR? Do you see it as a positive or do you see it as a negative? Because again, we've never ever discussed it on the channel. Me personally, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm actually pretty excited about the prospect of VAR tomorrow. Now I know that could go very, very wrong, but I just like the idea that in case this or this happens, the referee will actually get the decision. Right now, I know down south they've absolutely ran this into the ground and they're looking at millimetres and drawing lines and all that absolute madness. I know there is so much negativity regarding VAR from down south, but I think at the World Cup it showed that it can be used correctly, and I think given the fact that the referee will be going to a monitor, which I think is the key difference between this VAR and the VAR that's been used down south, for me, I'm actually excited about seeing it in action tomorrow. But with that being said, that's the question of the episode done and dusted, so let's dive into what we normally do and discuss the Rangers press conferences. That's right, I said press conferences, not press conference, because there was two of them this time. Awesome. Now, all joking on that aside, I actually enjoyed both press conferences, one with Steven Gerrard and the other one with Tavernier, because for the majority of the press conferences, they actually spoke about the game that they're there to speak about, which is a rarity regarding these Rangers press conferences. But regarding the old talking points, was there any breaking news that I feel like I need to talk about or digest from the press conferences? Not really, but I think one of the main things that we can take away from the press conference is that both Gerrard and Tavernier both talked about in detail that this game, the Mora, these European nights are usually bringing out the best in Rangers, and that may be what is needed not only for our European journey, but for the rest of the season. Which again is more words in a press conference instead of it being on the park, and we've sort of heard the old reaction thing a couple of times now over the last couple of weeks, but it was the way both of them spoke about it in detail, showing, to me at least watching it, and what I got from the press conference is it's clearly something that's been spoken about ahead of this game. Use this now is the catalyst. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen, moving away from the press conferences and getting to some Rangers team news, because there's been a lot of comments and a lot of questions about Haji's eligibility. Where's BB? So let's actually get to it then, shall we? And starting off with the elephant in the room, a lot of people has asked, is Haji available because he played for Genk earlier in the season in the Champions League? Yes, he is available, he is registered, and he will be playing tomorrow. The other bit of good news regarding the team news is the fact that BB has been confirmed to be fully fit and available for the game tomorrow, so he should be slotting back into that left back spot, which I cannot wait for. No disrespect to Halliday, the man ran himself into the ground for every minute he played for Rangers over the last two games, but I think there is a massive difference in what BB brings to the team and Halliday, and again, I'm not trying to be weird, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. BB is utter class, and that is what we're going to need if we're going to break down Braga. Now, unfortunately, it's time for some bad news, and it's just a reminder that Ryan Jack is suspended for the first leg versus Braga, so he will not be playing any part, and that right there is absolutely massive in my opinion, but it gives another person like Kamara to reinsert himself back into the starting 11 versus Rangers with a performance, and more importantly, his legs and energy in the middle of the park. I think it's going to be even more vital now, especially with Jack Mo being there. Everyone else is fully fit and ready to go for the game tomorrow. That includes Big Canberry, so we might see him at some point tomorrow, which I think would go very well with one of Braga's weaknesses, especially in the air. That's where they still concede a lot of cheap goals from corners, so we might see the big man at some point tomorrow. But just to round off the old team news, you've got Hollander and Jermaine Defoe, of course, the only other long-term injuries. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That is the preview, that is the Rangers press conference, and that is the latest team news wrapped up in a neat little bow. Now it's time for me and thee on a European night to give our prediction on. And while you guys are getting your thoughts and opinions out there, I will give you mine very, very briefly. I am expecting a very physical encounter. I'm expecting VAR to have a lot today, the Mora, but I believe Rangers, especially at home, to keep it tight, keep it organised, and to come away with a win. And I'm going to go for a very, very narrow scoreline of 1-0 to Rangers. My goal scorer, the goal scoring hero, is going to be the one, the only Alfredo Morelos. And now that me and thee have had their say, let's sit back, relax, and hear from the people on Twitter. There's been 1,667 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. 12% votes for Braga, 14% votes for the draw, but 74% of the people is voting for a Rangers home win. So let's see what they've had to say. Rayner writes in 2-1 to Rangers with VAR correcting a dodgy decision to our benefit. That would be nice. Touch wood that happens. Gustav writes in 2-0 to Rangers. Morelos with a header and Arfield to score a volley. Can you imagine the thumbnail? What a shit-eating grin I'd have. Raymond writes in slender 1-0. Won't be pretty, but Rangers to edge it with a Morelos goal. Danny Taylor writes in 2-0 to Rangers. Katic with a big boy header and Hadji with the goal. Stevie Brown's going to go for a tight 3-2 win for Rangers. I don't think that would be a very good result, considering they scored 2 away goals. That would make me very, very nervous. Liam G. Free writes in, it will be a good game and a very tight one, but I'm going to say 1-0 or 2-1 to the famous. Callum Kelly writes in 2-0. We have to score and win and keep a clean sheet. Jack is a massive miss in my opinion. Hadji writes in 3-0 to Rangers. Hadji to score 1. What a surprise. Canberra to get 2. Got to be optimistic. Andrew Bluebells writes in very tough match CJ. Think it could be a really close. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Rangers win though, with Kent and Hadji being the goal scorers. Lockie Logan writes in 4-0. It's such a Rangers thing to do. Braga on great form at the minute. Rangers not so good. So we will go and smash them. Alfie hat-trick and Hadji with the other. Kensan Logan, I completely agree. Ewan Conway writes in anything less than 2-0 and we are in trouble given their excellent form recently. An away goal and we would need 3, I personally think. Alex writes in Rangers will win 2-1. And the last one we read out tonight's video, scroll all the way up there, we'll scroll all the way down there, we'll stop it here. Oh, I didn't stop it there, 1 second, I actually clicked off the app, that's embarrassing. But it stopped right there and it comes from Smudger. And he writes in, if we play the way we've been in the past month, I can see us getting turned over. I'm hopeful, however, we can put in one performance. My God, it's long overdue in 2020. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. And as always, I've been CJ Over92. Thank you so much for watching and bye.